Like many, working from home seems to be the perfect dream. Waking up at your preferred time, following a morning yoga routine, making yourself a cup of coffee, and get ready for a productive and fruitful day. That might be how we visualize working from home should be, but that's not my case. This is how it looks. Overslept because I forgot to set my alarm. Too lazy for a morning exercise. What's even worse is, how can we stay focused with so many distractions and temptation and no one looking over our shoulders? Whether is it mandatory or it's by choice, working from home is probably the best thing to do now. I know, it might be something worth celebrating since we don't have to face our boss or waste our time commuting. Wait, I've been working from home since last year. This is gonna be a challenge because we are forcing two aspects of our life, work and personal life, to coexist under the same roof. I'm not a pro in productivity like Thomas Frank, but I've been working from home since last year. So let me share with you guys some of the methods I've been using and also the steps that I want to implement in my home working environment. And I hope that can help you too. Let's start with the first. Get prepared. I know, a lot of people have recommended that in order to work equally as productive as working from the office, we have to dress for success. Dress yourself as if you were to work in the office. I think this can really work well if you are not used to working at home. Don't have to be fancy, just get off your pajamas because they are comfortable solely for the purpose of sleeping. And now it's time to get uncomfortable and start your day. And honestly, I don't do that. I don't even have a pajamas. It can be really hot and humid in Singapore. Sometimes I do my work half naked. No, the other half. I'm a minimalist. What do you expect? Okay, jokes aside, my room is a human-sized oven during the day. But even though I don't dress myself out for work, I believe that we need to prepare our mind to get it started. Get prepared by refreshing yourself with a cool bath. That always keeps me energized all the time until when I'm back at my workspace. Next is the ideal workspace. This is the only fun part, getting yourself prepared with your workspace, and that depends on your personal preference. I personally prefer a normal waist height table and a chair. Nothing fancy, but I do wish to have a standing desk that I can adjust whenever I want. That can definitely fight off my sleepiness in the afternoon and also improve my posture. Make sure you have sufficient light because a dark environment can make us really lethargic and also strain our eyes. Just keep the darkness for the time when you are asleep. For my working desk, it's right in front of the window, so I'll receive a good amount of natural light. And if I need to light my space, I have a lamp at the side. Next, remove all clutters. I am a disorganized person, yet I hate mess. So, I have to clear all the redundant things off my desk every time I start work, so I can focus on the current task. I'll take some time to tidy out before I begin, and also when I'm done with the day. But the fact that my working desk is also in my living space makes it hard to maintain. Things seems to appear on this table randomly. Next is prepare our necessity. Why necessity, you might ask? That can prevent us from wasting time from walking around. Whether it is to have a drink or to indulge ourselves with snacks, these actions can cause death by 1,000 cuts. Wasting a few minutes at a time can lead to hours wasted in the long run, or even days. So I'll keep whatever is needed for the task on my desk, and all I need to survive during these few hours is just a 1 liter of water, and the only time I need to leave my seat is when I'm out of water, which I'll need to drink up to 3 liters a day, and also when I need to let the water go. We are done with the prep. Now, it's important to have separation during this period. I have to admit, I'm not doing this very well because my workspace, fun space, and sleep space is in the same room. Sometimes, it's so easy for me to start playing games or jump back to bed. It would be ideal if I can split these 3 aspects of my life into 3 different locations in order to have friction to stop me from doing what I'm not supposed to do. But space is always a constraint. So instead of blaming on things we can't change, why not focus on things that we can make a difference? Dealing with distraction. There are basically unlimited amounts of distractions when we are working from home. Even the most boring item that never catch our eyes before seems to be so interesting. Precious. Every tiny chore seems to be an emergency, and we have to settle it right now before we can start doing our work. It's a battle I need to fight every day due to my short attention span. If you can do your work without digital technology, that's a good way to protect and prevent yourself from distraction. But that's not how the 21st century works. None of us can do that. If we have to work with our computers, make sure we clear all the redundant tabs and applications. If the phone is not needed for our work, put it somewhere far from our reach. Or even make the process uncomfortable if you have to use it. That will create a friction. If you're like me, somehow you have to use YouTube for research and inspiration purposes. We all know that YouTube is a dangerous wormhole. It's the enemy of productivity because they know what we like and what we will want to watch based on our daily usage. One way for us to make it work is by logging out from our account so we are not tempted by the videos on our recommended page. Or we can use what I call the wishlist strategy. That's a strategy I use to push back impulsive purchase by writing it down on a notebook. The step of noting it down delays our impulsive action. Similarly, we can use this strategy to curb distraction. By using the YouTube watch later function, we can have an action which can delay the impulse and also watch it later when we are having a break. It acts as a reward for us after all the hard work. Other than digital distraction, one of my bad habits is to check on my plants every time when I need to start working. And other random chores start popping up in my head, prompting me that I need to do it now. For example, cleaning my room or the things in my room. And the wishlist strategy works well with this distraction too. We can do it by writing them down in our to-do list instead of doing it right away and obstructing our workflow. And this can be aided by the Pomodoro technique created by Francesco Cirillo. How it works is by giving ourselves 25 minutes of undistracted and focused work, and then reward ourselves with a 5-minute break. Any timer will work perfectly fine. I used an egg timer previously to lessen my contact with my phone, but sometimes I still pick up my phone without realizing my action. And recently, I purchased an app called Forest, and it works the same as the Pomodoro technique, where we set a duration which we want to focus on our work. And during this time, it grows a virtual tree. And if you decide to exit the app and use your phone for other functions, the virtual tree will start to build. This helps a lot to limit myself from using my phone. You can even use it on Google Chrome by blacklisting certain websites. I love this app because it implements fun into boring work. And in the long run, we can build a forest based on how focused we are with our work. It works perfectly for me because I love to turn to my phone for short escapism even when I'm doing my work. I don't usually spend money on any app, and this is in fact the first app that I paid for, and it definitely helped a lot with my productivity. However, there's another free app called Maskcraft. Similar concept. However, the paid version with statistics is slightly too pricey for my liking. And I just can't say no to the plants and forest theme. They are just more relatable. Lastly, have a well-balanced work-life schedule. A good way to have a work-life balance is by adopting 888 rule, splitting work, fun, sleep equally into 8 hours each. And I've made a video solely about this rule, and you can check it out after this. In order to make the full use out of these working hours, we need to have a well-planned to-do list. Personally, I like to have 3 important tasks for my to-do list. It's simple and straightforward, so it's more likely we can complete them because we are not overwhelmed by it. And it acts as a filter to remove unimportant tasks from our to-do list. Make it minimal so we can solely focus on the most important task. In order to achieve more, cut down the time for us to complete a certain task. Parkinson's law states that Work expands so as to fill the time available for its completion. And I truly believe that a work must be done by next week will be done by next week. If the same work has to be done by tomorrow, it will be done by tomorrow. A project can take forever if you give yourself forever. And not to mention about the law of diminishing return. Because sometimes, the more effort you put into your work does not equate the same return you will receive from the result. As important as being productive while working from home, our recreational time has to be well spent too. For workaholics, it's just a fine line between work and life, and it's important for us to set boundaries for our rest time because it's so easy for us to get back to work when we are resting. So that's how I work from home and keep myself productive. I know there's other productivity strategies and methods that we can use when we are working from home. How do you do it? How do you keep yourself productive without anyone staring over your shoulder? Maybe I can implement that into my work from home routine. If you enjoy watching this video, you might want to consider subscribing to this channel because I don't know when's the next time my videos can reach you, and I can never depend on the YouTube algorithm. And you can also follow me on my Instagram. I'll keep you guys updated. And if you wish to support this channel, you can check out my Patreon link at the description below. And your contribution can help a lot to keep this channel going. And by you liking this video and sharing it with your loved ones can help a ton. Thanks for watching this, and I hope this can bring you value. I'll see you guys on the next week.